many of you grew up like I did, not rich?
There's a lot of stuff out there right now that you can't control. But there are some things you can control, and if you control and make the changes in the areas that you control the controllables, you're going to see a real positive response in the math, in your numbers.
Because let me just tell you, if you plant corn, don't be shocked if corn grows. As ye sow, so shall you reap. If you plant nothing and wait on the government, don't be surprised if you have mud. And so if you plant corn, you will water it, put fertilizer around it if you're a farmer, hoe around it, keep the weeds out, and then you will get corn. You become who you hang around with. Did you know the studies have shown that your income will be within 10% of the average of your 10 closest friends' income? You have to do a budget on paper, on purpose, before the month begins. Every month. If you worked for a company called You Incorporated and you manage money for You Incorporated, the way you manage money for you now, would you fire you? Don't answer that. We misbehave with money. The Bible says, he who is impulsive exalts folly. Folly is the verb of a fool in action. He who is impulsive is a fool in action. My friend Zig Ziglar used to say, if you aim at nothing, you'll hit it every time. My friend John Maxwell says, a budget is people telling their money what to do instead of wondering where it went. But you take the steps slow and gradual. You don't skip steps, because otherwise you'll be hanging upside down with your leg broke. Your neighbor will be laughing at you. No step skipping. Be willing to come back down to solid ground and repeat the process. These are the rules of using a ladder. Around our place, we call these ladders, these steps, baby steps. You take $500 a month and invest it from age 30 to age 70 in a decent growth stock mutual fund, you'll have $5.6 million. Now, I'm not theologically or philosophically shallow enough to tell you money will make you happy. Money will not make you happy. You get more money, it will make you more of what you are right now. If you are miserable and you get money, you will be lots of miserable. If you're a jerk and you get money, big jerk. And it'll mess with your family too, to the extent there's crazy in your family. So money is not going to solve your problems, it's going to make them bigger. It's also going to make your opportunities bigger. If you're a generous person, your generosity will go into overdrive. You'll be outrageously generous. And you get a lot of money, we'll call you a philanthropist. Cool word that means you give a lot of it away and you have a blast doing it. You found the most fun you'll ever have with money is when you find that. I'm talking about you can reach over and pay somebody who's struggling's light bill through the end of the year. I'm talking about outrageous, even sometimes spontaneous generosity. And you can do that if you're not broke. And if you've got your stuff taken care of at home, if my light bill is paid, I can help somebody. If I'm still fretting over here, I don't even see them.
What is money good for? And that'll give you your why. Because money, just to have money is useless. It's just a tool though. Okay, so now what are we gonna do with this tool? This thing that allows me to lift, this thing that allows me to move things. What's the tool for? And then that'll start to give you your why. And you go, gosh, if I had a big pile of money, what would be the benefit of that? Well, I would have margin, I would have choices, I could help others and be generous. I could change my family tree. My kids wouldn't have to worry about going to college, or my relationships, I'd be a lot less stress. And it's what money does that matters.
And when you're giving, it's almost impossible to not become grateful. And as you become grateful, the next thing that happens is you become more and more content. And the more content you are in a totally discontented culture, the great advantage you have to build wealth. It's a different level of nobility. What happens is the people that do this, they may be in the acquisition mode early and as it goes along, but as the weight of the responsibility of the wealth starts to grow on them over time, it flips from acquisition to serving. And they see their wealth as an opportunity to serve. Your spouse, I can get her a nice car. I can serve my children. They can go to college and we can pay for it. I can serve my community and we can open a homeless shelter or fund a homeless shelter. I can serve the world at large. And the more you start to realize then, the more money you're managing, the more people you can help. You prosper when you give. That's why it's very practical, because it changes who you are.
If you think business is about monetary transactions, you're going to fail. And you need to learn that people are important, and God's Son Jesus will teach you that the people are important, and you will not succeed in business until you understand people are important.
No one accidentally wins at anything. And you're not the exception. I don't like Dave Ramsey's advice. I don't give a crap. You're wrong. You have to do a written game plan with money or you're going to lose. You got to get out of debt. Your most powerful wealth building tool is your income. And when you spend your whole freaking life giving your money to banks who fill up the skyline and have furniture nicer than yours, that makes you stupid. Get out of debt. When you don't have any payments, you know what you've got? Money. I want you to win. I want you to have a great life. But staying in debt because of a tax deduction, here's how that works. Think about it for a second. If you had a $200,000 mortgage at a 5% interest, that means the interest that you paid that year would be 5% of $200,000, which is $10,000. Does that sound right? Say yes. If you do that, and you make $70,000 a year, and you have a $10,000 tax deduction, and you make 70, you don't pay taxes on 70 if you have a $10,000 tax deduction, you pay taxes on 60. And so, if that's the case, you're in a 25% tax bracket, you saved $2,500 in taxes.
That makes a difference on how much you need for college, right? I mean, what you got to do for college. It's like, is this an oh crap moment, or hey, we're going to be diligent and save? Did we wait almost until too late? Now, they have to go to college debt-free. They cannot participate in this epic student loan system failure that is called America right now. It is horrible out there. Do not let your kids go in debt. You do not have to go to debt. Go to community college for free for 2 years. Go to in-state school, work 6 jobs, get scholarships. Our student loan problem is a parenting problem. Mom and dad let kids sign up for crap they couldn't afford.
You will win with money 100% of the time. Now, I don't know exactly how long it will take you, and I don't know what win with money will mean because I cannot predict your income, and I cannot predict the tragedy that you will have to overcome.
Yeah, things are more expensive, and I want to keep spending at a level that is not sustainable is not an emergency. Buying things that you want to buy and just yelling at inflation and going, it's inflation's fault. No, it's your fault. You have to stay within your budget, and it's not an emergency. Now, your heating and air going out is an emergency. Your tire going flat could be it could be an emergency, but things are now tight. So I'm using my savings to not adjust my behaviors to reflect an inflationary economy is not an emergency. That's a choice, and it's a bad one. So stay out of your emergency fund unless it's an emergency.
You're debt-free, you have the emergency fund. I recommend paying cash. What? You're crazy. I recommend, it's hard. I don't borrow money. There is nothing on the planet I want bad enough to go back into debt, ever. The borrower is slave to the lender. I got that, okay? I got it all the way to the soles of my feet. I don't even want to have anything to do with a bank unless I'm buying it.
Grandma's rainy day fund. Why? It's going to rain. Dave, you need to be positive. I'm positive. It's going to rain. You need to be ready when crap happens. There's a pandemic coming around every corner. There's something coming, and if you have $20,000 cash in the bank, 3 to 6 months of expenses, whatever it is, and you have no payments, you are the third pig in the 3 little pigs, the one that's in the brick house when the big bad wolf comes. You're ready for life. You're ready to go. Now you're ready to build wealth. But that you just now have gotten up to ground zero. You've just now gotten up to even.
If I sell 10 books and help 10 people get out of debt, I should make 1 set of money. That's fair. But if I sell 10 million, I should make another set of money. That's fair. Fair is not equal. Because effort, talent, education, bothering to show up is not equal.
I talk to people every day who are hurting. Families that are flat broke, single moms who are struggling, couples who are one more money fight away from a divorce. This money stuff's a big deal, but we're here to help. The Total Money Makeover can help you take charge of your greatest wealth building tool, your income. I've condensed almost 20 years of financial teaching and counseling into 7 organized, easy to follow steps that will lead you out of debt, into wealth, and a total money makeover. This is a plan designed for anyone, regardless of age or income. Trust me, you're not going to win with money by accident. It takes some time, some hard work, but if you make a commitment today to live like no one else, later you'll get to live like no one else.
It's time for all of us to get a little better and change.